Greetings, flesh creatures. It is I, Megatron. On behalf of TFYLP, I want to congratulate you for listening to the most refined collected podcast on this miserable little planet Earth. Yes. Here you'll find knowledgeable fans discussing every aspect of Transformers and beyond. Now, enjoy the show while I continue my path to complete conquest of all of you miserable biological entities. Predacons, terrorize!
Hi, and welcome to TFYLP, episode 373 for Monday, March 23rd. So today I am joined by Robert.
Hi!
Wow. Christian.
Hey. I'm not that energetic, I'm sorry.
And Paul.
Hello.
I'll be playing the role of normal person on the show tonight.
Ain't none of us normal here.
I'm going a little crazy already because I feel like I'm like way behind on the chat. And the show just started, so
Hey, chat.
Do I need to pull any of the chat in yet here?
Let's do it.
What up, chatbots? Bring it.
Apparently there's some extremely stupid comments.
I love extremely stupid content.
No, they're not.
Actually,
They're just-
I don't. Don't make them.
There's never a stupid comment, only stupid people. Oh wait, is that the...
One begets the other.
Let's see. Yeah, so let me get through some of this here. Apparently Anna's in the chat too. We got
What's up,
Zaldrin
Anna?
and
What's up,
Rodimus.
Zaldrin? Hey, Rodimus.
And we got Nero, so...
Oh, what's up, Neuro?
What's up, homies? So what's our topic tonight?
So our topic is the TFCon third-party slideshow because it had to go on even though the convention was canceled.
Well, it didn't have to go on. It very nicely went on.
It very nicely went on. So thank you to Ryan for putting together the third-party panel and doing it live on... I guess, what was it, on Facebook? Is that right? It's on YouTube
It was
now.
on their YouTube channel, on the TFCon YouTube channel.
Okay.
It was on both, actually.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you to Ryan and Stacy for hosting that. It was enjoyable to go through. And then also, the IDW artists on Saturday actually did a live panel. They did one at... I think it was like 1 o'clock and one at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, something like that. And I believe that, who was it that put that together? Was it?
I didn't even know this was a thing that happened.
Okay, well, it's a thing that happened. I'm trying to remember who actually put it together. Was it Josh Perez? Maybe? Or Bertram?
He's definitely an artist. Those are names.
Yeah, so anyway, so a bunch of the artists got together and they actually did two different panels. They did it on Twitch, and I believe that they're actually putting it together and they're going to edit it and then they're going to put it up to, I think, YouTube maybe, something like that later. So we'll definitely make sure and share that out because it was a fun panel. I'm really glad that they're able to do that because... You know, it was kind of like, even though, you know, none of us were able to go down to Orlando, you know, like at least part of the convention was able to go on.
Yeah.
So.
And we still got some of the MMC exclusives. The pre-order window's closed on those now. So if you didn't get it, good luck. It's nice. We still got the third-party panel, and they still announced the next TFCon. It's going to be in Chicago, October 23rd to October 25th. At the same place it was last year, I think. So that'll be fun.
Yeah,
I think there'll be a good bit of us there for that.
I'm shocked that it was going to be in Chicago. Who knew that they're going to do a fall show in Chicago, right?
Such a surprise.
I mean,
So,
I think it could have been something on the West Coast again. That wouldn't have surprised me either.
I think to me, and I don't know this for sure, but I think that I would bet that they're going to alternate DC and Chicago, and then the spring show will be, kind of like the one on either the West Coast or Orlando or wherever. I mean, who knows? They may end up, kind of changing things up. I mean, obviously with Orlando getting canceled this year, like it may have kind of messed some stuff up, but yeah, there you go. Maybe they'll have it in Kansas City next time. So, yeah,
It's there. Ugh.
yeah. Thank you, Rodimus Supreme, for. I was thinking it was Perez that was the one that put it together, but they had a bunch of artists like Casey Collier was on it. I know Jack Lawrence was on it. I'm trying to think. Andrew Griffith was on the later one. So they had quite a number of artists that were on the two panels. But yeah, no, it was. I don't know. This was kind of a crazy thing. It just, I don't know. It seemed like the world kind of changed in the last couple of weeks, where we were all planning on going down there and to Orlando, and then it's.
Oh, it didn't. The world kind of changed. The world did change. It was every day things were drastically different. It's pretty intense. But let's talk about some toys.
So.
Please.
So yeah, so I don't know how we want to do that. I mean, do we want to just talk about our favorites from the panel? Or? Yeah, sure.
Instead of like,
you go first.
I think the biggest thing has to be whatever the hell they're calling it, that not Unicron. That we understand to have been Zeta, and then they branded it Studio Cell or whatever, and now they're like not trying to say it's any. They don't want to say anything at all, which is kind of a silly move. Hasbro's thing funded. It's done, so I doubt Hasbro is as interested at this point, unless you can still cancel your HasLab thing, which I doubt you can. I bet you might be able to call and bitch enough to get it to happen, but I don't think it would happen. Anyway, it's funded now. I mean, I think we all assumed it was going to happen no matter what. But yeah, so we saw a bunch of pictures of that. Ryan has the sample in hand, and he took a bunch of photos, and him and Stacy both got to mess with it and transform it, which we've seen some, I don't know what country they're from, but, not English-speaking countries, like, have had some in-hand samples of it. So what do y'all think about it?
Well, to me, I feel like this is a completely different thing than the Hasbro one. I mean, first off, I think this is 19 inches, and how tall is the Hasbro one?
25.
So, I mean, the Hasbro one's just going to be so much bigger than I feel like this is similar size to how tall is the Toy World Devastator?
It should be Titan size, like 4 Max.
Yeah, this one looks like it's going to be around the Unicron trilogy Unicron mold height. Like, I'd have to go over there and measure, but I say it's probably about right.
Not in bot mode. Definitely not for bot mode.
Really?
Really.
Which one's taller?
Unicron Trilogy is like 12, 13 inches.
No, it's larger than that. I got it up right over there.
Am I wrong? I could be wrong.
Well, I think isn't the...
It's probably somewhere in the middle.
The new Omega Supreme, isn't that like 18 inches, 19 inches, something like that?
Yes.
Or the... those older Make Toys Utopia and stuff like that. Like, it's probably going to be similar size to that. So, I mean, this is definitely not the same thing as the Hasbro one, just because I feel like the Hasbro one is just going to be so massive when it comes.
Yeah, like, I think this one you could still get to fit on a shelf. The Hasbro one, I think you're fucked. It's not going to fit on any type of
accomplishing
shelf.
a different goal. I mean, even the company name, Studio Cell, kind of tells you it's trying to go for something different. The HasLab one is not a one-for-one remake of the movie one, but the Studio Cell one looks like it's supposed to look like the Cell animated version.
Oh, I didn't even get the double entendre there.
I thought it was because it turns into a cell. What do you mean, Christian?
It turns into the coronavirus.
It turns into a cell. Is it a round thing with like spikes?
Makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah,
what
it
it is.
even has teeth and like mitochondria and stuff. It's a cell.
So, to me, the biggest thing I noticed with this is it just really points out the flaws in Hasbro's engineering on that one, which is something that by the time the HasLab ended, I had gotten kind of lukewarm on the Hasbro one. At first I was like, holy crap, they're making a Unicron and it's huge. That's awesome. But as pictures started coming out, I was like, I feel like they could have done better. And I think this kind of proves that yeah, they could have engineered it better. I don't know why they made the sacrifices they made, but this thing is definitely, I don't know, looks to be a much more cohesive toy and like it looks a lot better in robot mode, even though it is smaller.
Did Ryan mention how big this thing is, like, once you get it into planet mode?
I'm not sure.
I think he did.
Because that's what I'm kind of curious about. Because it seems like that the Hasbro one, I feel like is going to be pretty massive in planet mode.
Yeah.
Whereas, and so I think that that's part of the issue is that it, because they did that, it's going to have, what is it, Rob? What's the term about the pancake flap things?
I can't even say it. But yeah, I mean, they took the shell and just, shoved it up against the legs, shoved it up against the back of the head. And I mean, he has a collar. That's part of the design, but he doesn't have this huge, like all the shell is just in his backpack and on his legs, just shoved in. And it's just honestly kind of lazy engineering, whereas the cell one is much more clever and it's all much more integrated. It has a few negatives, like the back looks like the front, but I guess that's just due to its symmetrical design because it forms a circle. But I could definitely see getting this one from Cell to keep in robot mode and getting the HasLab one to be in planet mode. Because I think the planet mode from HasLab is by far the better looking of the two modes. I mean, it does look awesome, and it's a shame that the robot mode they sacrifice so much.
Well, you're talking about that they started with a giant beach ball for the Unicron one. They even showed it. They made a perfect sphere, and they went out of their way to make sure that was like their target, and they had to make everything change around that. So if they had to make a adjustment somewhere, it meant like the sphere had to be bigger, which changed everything else. Like when they discussed this at like San Diego or something, they explained some of that. And so like this went robot mode first, obviously, and they kind of it seems like the process by which they got to the solution is more appreciated by fans and people that are looking at this. Like they don't mind that the planet mode looks to me a little small, like not as the rings are not, the ratio of the ring to the planet is much more condensed than it is on the Hasbro one. The thing that I really like about this is the stands, like the vortex of like the tractor vortex. That was really clever. Like what they did there is pretty cool. I also like how the spikes fold down and stuff. That's neat. What I don't like I don't like the feet. I don't like how the side
calf ankle things.
That's the flaw, I guess. If you had to pick one out, But I think this is definitely a cool toy.
I would
you can't deny it.
Yeah, I love what they did with the stand, and the more that people integrate stuff, I wish there was something to do with it in robot mode. It's probably because if you keep it in that mode, it's just going to be parts on the side or in a drawer somewhere. But that's nitpicking at that point.
You can put them on his shoulders and then take the head off, like the cell.
Because it's a cell, right?
To me, I think that like this version is going to be probably more fun to mess with, just because it's not going to be quite as big. So you're probably going to be able to transform it easier. Like I think that the transformation will probably be interesting and all that type of thing. I think the one thing though is like when you're talking Unicron, like we already have, and again I know that the Unicron trilogy one is definitely dated at this point, but it's like we kind of have a smaller one already, and so I feel like that's the biggest thing with the Hasbro one is going to be really impressive. Like I mean, everyone that I've heard from that has seen this the Hasbro one in person have just said how impressive it looks. And I don't know, Paul, have you seen the Hasbro one in person?
Oh yeah, I've taken a bath with it. It's amazing. It's like it's like a stat. I mean, compared to this, it's more of a statue, you know. Like, I mean, especially in robot mode, because it pretty much all it can do is stand there, and like
it's
move
too
its
heavy to
arms.
pose it.
Yeah, it's got that giant stand, which I think the stand is actually a piece of a marvelous piece of engineering in itself. But it can't. These are two very, very different toys doing totally different things. And I think some people are going to prefer this. Some people are going to like the Hasbro one. I mean, I've been planning to put the Hasbro one in planet mode the whole time. Because that's
where
just
I've
what
been.
it looks best at.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet myself, like which mode I'm going to have mine in.
Like, if you want the cell one, last I checked yesterday, it's sold out on Show Z finally. That there are a couple of other places online that came up, but I wasn't familiar with the stores. I don't think they're necessarily rip-off stores where I just don't think there is notable yet. Show Z's kind of made a name for themselves. So, like, I think if you want it, you might need to get closer to jumping on it. The main thing I've been holding off for...
Prime put it up today, too.
It's supposed to be out in August.
The one thing I wish is that I wish the colors were different. We all know that animation consistency with the Transformers cartoon is a non-existent thing. But, sometimes he's more this kind of the yellow-blue, but sometimes that blue is more of a silver-gray, and it's kind of hard to tell exactly what color it should be. And I would have been stoked, since the Hasbro one is the blue, if this one had been more that silver or that gray-blue type tint to it. I think it would really help it stand out.
I really like this one's orange color more than I like the Hasbro's yellow color.
The orange is nice.
The orange is very nice.
I mean, maybe they'll do some repaints.
I think one thing about this, though, too, is I think that it probably will hurt the market slightly for the Hasbro one, because I think that there's probably some people, again, that had, the fear of missing out, that didn't order the Hasbro one, that can't order it now, or that they I don't know, maybe Big Bad or whoever still is taking orders, but it's like, oh, I have to spend $800 on one if I'm going to buy the Hasbro one at retail versus this one's what, like $300 or something like that. It's somewhere around there.
I think Show Z was I think it was $290. I think I've seen a few places that might be like $260, but I don't know if that's probably before shipping. Show Z includes shipping. So yeah, it's $300 or less for most places.
Yeah, so I think that this at least gives some people an alternative to where if they missed out because they couldn't afford the Hasbro one at the time, now at least they can get a nice looking Unicron, for their collections and don't have to, pay the late tax. I mean, there's still going to be people, obviously, that collect official that are going to want that over this and whatnot, but, some collectors will have an option, so...
And Chosen Prime is saying $400 and ships in June. So Chosen Prime quite a bit more expensive than other options.
Don't be snoozing.
Well, the thing is with the American retailers, they have to mark it up because it's going to cost them how much, X amount of dollars to get it shipped to them, and it's going to cost them X amount of dollars to ship. This is going to cost probably $50 to ship. So,
yeah, it's $60 on eBay. It's for $300 with $60 to ship from a few sellers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, okay. Well, besides the Unicron, what else? I guess starting at the beginning of the panel, the Lemon Tree stuff. Is anyone else interested in these this new Lemon Tree
Lemon Party
figures, whatever?
No.
Or just
yes.
me?
If they're Studio Series size, like Ryan was saying, then I'm very interested depending on price. That Star Cream looked really good. The Thrust one looked really good. B looked okay. I think
the Prime looks pretty decent too.
That's only the 15th Prime that looks like that, right?
Right. I know.
I can't even tell them apart anymore.
That's the thing. I'm just curious on some of these. Yeah, I mean, this is. I think that they're more chug scaled, right?
Well, Studio Series scaled is what Ryan said.
Or
So
Studio Series.
Well, I mean, what does that mean? Is it Voyager? Is it Deluxe?
I would assume they're Voyager, but I thought the same about Toy World stuff because they look super detailed. Their movie line, and then those came out to they're actually pretty tiny. Like the Bumblebee's a deluxe size.
So that looks like that Shockwave looks like a Voyager or a Leader to me.
That's the one I'm interested in because we haven't got that alt mode before.
Yeah,
and that's a cool looking alt mode.
The Revenge alt mode or the Bumblebee movie one?
The Lemon Tree one.
Yeah, you said the Revenge, right?
Yes.
Galvatron ship. Okay, cool, got it.
I kind of don't.
Interested in that.
I kind of don't like that it turns into Shockwave. I kind of wish it was like some other random dude, like or a sweep or something.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
It just breaks. It like breaks my. It breaks too much canon for me to have it be another character that was not there.
If it's cheap enough, then it'll just be the Revenge, and that'll be it for me.
Yeah, it still looks pretty badass, though.
It looks like it comes with a stand.
It's kind of funny, though, because Hasbro already released a Shockwave that turns into a ship, right? Like, I mean, the Siege one...
You're not wrong.
You're right.
That's an upside-down gun with a couple things thrown on. There's a big difference.
What?
It looks like... the Hasbro was a decent ship. Once you put all the extra parts on.
I'm curious about the Soundwave, too, because we haven't gotten anything official, and I want to know what it transforms into. Like, I'd probably assume some kind of War for Cybertron-ish tank vehicle thing, but until we see it, I don't guess we really know. But I'm interested in it.
I think Thrust is still my favorite.
Which one's Thrust?
The green cone head.
Yeah.
Why is that Thrust?
Pepper?
Because it's a cone head and based on the Armada Thrust colors.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, that looks
Thrust.
white to me. Thrust was a darker gray. Well, that looks white. I think that's what threw it off for me.
Yeah.
It's known to be
what they
Armada
did in the
Thrust.
movie.
Okay. I mean, and then that's just a render, too. We don't know what it'll be at the end.
That's what it looks like in the movie. That's Thrust for the movie. I don't know why he's not that burgundy color, but
They should have
what
called him.
He's in the
Screen Boy.
movie?
Yeah.
yeah, he's in the movie.
Oh, okay. So that's not the only Bumblebee movie seeker we saw this weekend. The other one being the new one from Zeta. That's, I guess,
That one looks really good.
it's like the Blitzwing mold, I guess, or style, I guess, is what all these are.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm more concerned about what we didn't see from Zeta, and that was no
Raiden?
more Raiden. It's been a year since we saw anything from them. We got the MP announcement from Takara, and then no pictures or anything from that. I want a Raiden. Give it to. I don't care how I have to get it. Just give it to me. Somebody show it off, please.
It's coming.
I
Dob,
don't believe you.
you don't believe TNT, Mr. TT? Anyways, yeah, that Blitzwing looks pretty dope. It looks like probably masterpiece. It actually reminds me of the size of the 3A.
I was
It
about to
almost
ask if it
looks
looked like the 3ADU. Yeah.
It looks like it could stand neck and neck with it, which kind of blows my mind. And I love the toes. They still have the landing gear toes, which is a cool Easter egg, I guess. And Ryan mentioned in the panel that it's neat how his cockpit actually double opens.
Double open. It's
you
really cool.
You can fit two
cool.
pilots in there.
So, man, how much is Zeta going up against Hasbro? So there's the Unicron fight, and then there's Raiden, Masterpiece Raiden, and then now they're announcing this Bumblebee movie Blitzwing when we just had that announced in Studio Series as well. It's like, are they doing this on purpose or is it just happening?
Well, and the 3A stuff, I mean, is official anyway. So, I mean, you could argue it's going up against that.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't
So-
transform, but they don't own the license to make this, so I'd say that's a big one in the red category.
But then I wonder too is like I know the Zeta, that Bumblebee that just came out. A lot of people have said that that's just a horrible transformation. Like as far as it's just really difficult to get it transformed from one mode to the other. I don't have it personally, so I don't know. But people have struggled with it, so it's almost like I kind of would almost rather have the 3A one because I don't want to have to deal with a bad transformation where I'm going to break a figure.
What is the price on the 3A one?
The 3A one's like $135 for Bumblebee.
I mean, I think Zeta's cheaper than that, isn't it? They're Bumblebee, so you could just put it in robot mode and leave it. And it's
I think the Zeta one, isn't it like around the same price as the 3A?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I mean, it's around the same price.
So what do you guys make of all these Bumblebee movie toys coming up all of a sudden? Like, I think the panel was Bumblebee toys.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it took that long just for some of it to cook and to see, if it was... Because, something has to come out. People have to show there's interest in it beyond just, hey, this movie's... Because, this is third party, they see it when we see it. And then they have to decide, are people interested in this enough that we still really want this crap, to bother to make it? So that's my guess. I think Studio Series has helped keep interest in the movie stuff alive to the point where, we're still getting third-party movie stuff. Like, I wonder if Studio Series hadn't happened if... I don't know, maybe third-party would have just ran with it even more. Who knows? Maybe it had the opposite effect.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the newer, like the Bumblebee movie designs are somewhat of a sweet spot for a lot of people because it's kind of G1, kind of movie. And so I know, like, for myself, like, I really like those designs. And so, like, I've gotten both of the 3A figures that have come out. And then once that Prime comes out, I'll probably get that one as well. And then the Soundwave as well. So I think that could definitely be like kind of a, something to where like a lot of collectors kind of gravitate towards that don't necessarily want to do the straight cartoon G1 look.
Imagine if the movie designs weren't as ass as they were for the last 10 years. Like, Transformers would be so much bigger right now. Because, like, we got a taste of it here 10 years later, and, like, everyone's freaking out. And it's like, good God, what were you doing, Michael Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, from everyone I've talked to, most people much more enjoy, not only the Bumblebee movie itself more, than the Bay crap, but the designs themselves. Like, there are people that like aspects of the movie, of the Bay designs, even like it's not all complete crap. But in general, they're like, man, Bumblebee really got it right, of getting it closer to the blocky G1 style or a little more nostalgic, but it's all modernized and updated in some fashion, except for calling Starscream Blitzwing, which was weird. But,
I think it's a case of, it's not a complete reimagining. It's bringing an animated character to a 3D live action realm. It looks like the Turtles from the cartoon to the new movies to me.
Yep.
I mean, Bumblebee being a bug was just, mwah. That's what we wanted from the beginning. We didn't want him to be this badass Camaro that doesn't talk. And I hate so much that we can't make him talk anymore. It's impossible for him to talk.
Annoying. I hate that so much.
The worst.
I'm just gonna groan. Okay, so what else is cool? I just wanted to point out that, like, it's crazy there's all these Bumblebee figures, but
I mean, we got 3 Bumblebees themselves. Zeta's is out. Transform Element, we saw a bunch of final pictures, and then Transcraft is coming out with one as well. I think I actually like the Transcraft one best.
Real quick, can you go back to see the back mode of that Blitzwing? Because that was actually, like, pretty impressive, I thought. If you want to think about, like,
here we go.
The Meteor or whatever. Yeah, it's like the wings are solid and everything. Like, no one can be like, it's missing panels and gaps. It looks wild how strong the backside looks.
Mm-hmm.
So, gotta give it to you, Zates.
You can only hope that the transformation is better than Bumblebee's was, though. No one liked it. None of the reviewers liked it. Everyone hated it. Nero's telling us that I knew Bobby broke it, but he breaks everything. But apparently so did some other ones. So it's just...
Yeah, no, I've heard, like, Matt Baldwin, I know, mentioned that he broke his, too, which, like, he, normally doesn't break figures.
Okay, so that crouching stance, though, looks pretty funny to me. Like, it's like his hip joint is up in his ribs or something. Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
And the one where Blitzwing is, like, he's doing I I don't know.
He's crouching. He's on one knee.
Crouch stance. And Ryan Sheehy in the video is like, oh, look at how good this looks. And I was like, bah! No, I mean, it doesn't.
But I think it does, because most Transformers you can't get into that pose. There's some of the Masterpiece figures you can, like, the new Prime can probably do that, but most of them cannot get in that pose. And even if you can get the joints in that position, like getting the leg up that high is pretty rare.
It just looks inhuman, is all I'm saying.
The robots.
It's not natural. Oh, right. Sure.
But you can do it.
But we want them to look like people. Anyways, yeah, you can do it. It's it's an impressive piece of engineering. I just thought it looked pretty hilarious. He's like, it's not quite right. Because his like shin is too long to make it work.
So, Christian, since you're a bit younger than us, and like you have some nostalgia for Unicron trilogy, is that correct?
I do.
Yeah. What do you think about Fans Hobbies Armada Optimus Prime?
I love it, except the spark plug is trash. But besides spark plug,
it is such trash.
It's horrifying.
Why is that such trash?
What's so bad about it?
I think they've been showing.
You have eyes. That's what's wrong
prototype.
with it.
They've been showing off their prototype and vague images of it of Optimus for about a year now, and I think at some point enough fan feedback came in there that wanted spark plug. Like, oh crap, we have to make a spark plug, and so they designed it over the weekend. And how do you miss something that easy?
Yeah, that does look
articulate.
I mean, for what it's worth,
that's all you got to do.
It's highly posable.
It's 5.5 centimeters long. It's like just a little over 2 inches. So I mean, it's going to look like a Micromaster, at the end. Although the Micromasters probably look better.
A Minicon.
Yeah.
So the one thing I'll say about fans,
Optimus looks awesome. It looks so great. It has articulation in the knees in super mode, which is incredible. The base mode looks nice. It's got compartments for Minicons. Both of the robot modes look great. I'm so excited for this figure, and I'll just leave the spark plug in the box.
I'm surprised.
The original spark plug.
I honestly, when they first announced this, and then we didn't see it for a while, and I never bothered to dig into it or anything, I was just expecting it to be a heavy retool or remold of their Power Baser. Because they...
Yeah, I think that was definitely a possibility. It's not. It's a whole new thing, which is awesome.
Have they showed off the base mode somewhere? Never mind. There it is.
I'm sure
there it is.
It's good. It looks essentially like the old one with some improvements.
A little bit too much with here's his legs sticking out the front of it now, but I mean, it's base modes, whatever.
And that's to me, that's an homage to the original one.
Got it.
Because that's how it worked. And that's how it looked in the animation, and that's how it looked in the comics, and that's just what it was.
It's what it do.
Yep. So I'm good with that. If it wasn't like that, I'd be like, oh, that's weird. Why is the leg sticking out? But since it's trying to incorporate that design, I'm good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say just the Fans Hobby stuff in general is just really, really cool. I mean, like the G2, like that laser prime that they did with the trailer and all that is super neat. And like all the accessories that they did with that, and like they had an optional sticker. Yeah. And so, I mean, it really is the original toy, like made into a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's what helped me turn the corner on Masterpiece collecting. That I wanted all of that and none of what Masterpiece became. Because just because it's big and fancy doesn't mean it has to be complicated and hell to transform.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's
MMC.
Still a toy. It's a toy.
MMC's really nailed that. Unfortunately, I don't think Fans Hobby kept that going forward because a lot of people like Power Baser didn't get the best reviews from a transforming it perspective. Like putting it into combined mode apparently is a real pain in the ass. I don't have it. I don't have any version of it, but
I don't know about is the Overlord, whatever that's called, is that
double power or whatever?
Double evil.
Double evil.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, and I found it odd that they're releasing an upgrade kit for it when I think it's sold out everywhere. Maybe there's somewhere you can get it. I don't know. That's like making an upgrade kit for something you can't get on the shelves unless they're doing another run of it.
They might be too. Yeah.
I just wish I liked their aesthetics more. And generally speaking, like the Rid the Red Scourge, looked good because it just kind of went more to what the tune was and what the cartoon and the toy looked like from that show. And I think they're doing the same with Armada Prime, but like their monster bots are all overly chunky.
I wonder if like Pat Lee, who's hiding out in China somewhere, like is involved with this company. He might.
They are all bubbly.
Man, that'll make me so sad.
Especially Repugnus.
They also announced a Go Shooter, continuing on the Master Force stuff. It looks to be a remold of Minerva, which maybe that's making some sense because if that's how I don't have an image pulled up, but Minerva, that toy looks cool, but it's nothing like the animation model, and it's nothing like the toy. Other than, it's a car that turns into a robot, the colors are in the right spot.
It looks like the manga, actually.
Really?
I think that's what it is.
Because, like, the toy, the back of the car makes the feet, for example, and in the animation, I think that's held over. But, like, the toy, looks like a cool toy, but just isn't accurate to anything. And no, Rodimus, that's not Nightbeat. Go Shooter was a repaint of the Nightbeat toy, I believe.
Nope,
right?
Siren.
No. So you're right.
I am right.
Yeah.
So you're saying
Nightbeat are the same.
You're saying those two toys share the same like skeleton?
They don't.
Because it doesn't look like
new.
Cool.
The thing I think is interesting about these is
awesome.
don't the aren't these like $60 or something like that, or 65?
Minerva's like 65, yeah.
Yeah, Minerva's like 65, which is like in these days it seems like all the new. Yeah, it's like super cheap compared to like all the new stuff coming out.
I mean, that makes it tempting just as what the hell else Minerva are you going to put on your shelf anytime soon?
Exactly. Exactly.
I think the only other Minerva toy I have is the custom class from Animated, which I actually don't even have that toy. I had a custom made of it by Cheats, and he actually hand painted the symbols. But he was actually he was able to get a copy of the custom class like extra antennas, the 3D parts that they made just for that class. Somehow he was able to get a hold of one and put it in there for him. So that was cool. But yeah,
I got one of those kits when I got one of the kits when the club went under a couple years ago, and then some loser site had instructions and pictures from the customizing class, and I used that to build mine.
Was that miserable, or did that toy go together pretty all right?
It was great.
It was?
And the loser was Paul, by the way. That's Paul's site.
What?
I gathered.
You had like pictures from the custom class day, and I followed those to make mine go together.
That was a beautiful day. I remember that.
Anyways, I'm looking at her right now. She's over here.
I don't remember posting like the instructions, but sure.
It was enough. Because my kit just came kit. It didn't have the instruction book or anything.
Yeah.
So Rob, my question with Fans Toys, moving on to them, are you going to get the new Soundwave that's coming out?
I'm really torn on it because I love the Takara Soundwave. That is a super fun toy. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the paint. And so I need to see how they paint this thing. If they put it in like metallic colors and stuff, there's no point for me to, but if it's matte colored and looks like the cartoon, that would be really tempting for me to get the Fans Toys one if it's not a miserable pile of crap like Blur was, because otherwise I don't need that in my life. Another one of those, I have a better option. But if the paint's right and it's not terrible to transform, I could see myself getting rid of the official one and getting Sound Blaster instead. That way I still have that mold in my collection.
I don't see how they could make it unfun to transform. It turns into a box. I mean, come on.
Have you met Fans Toys? Have you played with the Hot Rod just turns into a car. Like, sometimes his arms spin around, sometimes they don't, and the hood flips out and the legs fold in. That's it.
So I would actually argue with Fans Toys is all of their smaller figures are like you don't really want. You want all their bigger ones. Like their Dinobots are good. The Galvatron's pretty good. The Jetfire is good. Like so I feel like it's like if you actually go with their larger figures, like I actually think you probably enjoy them more.
So is this two different toys, or is there a cartoon? It's all like panels or like flip around stuff, you think?
I bet it plugs out and plugs in is my guess.
So it's like you have it'll come in one form and it has like all these extra parts you can swap out.
That's what they did with the first Tesla. They had it had arms and legs in one blue installed, and you flipped them out and changed them for the other one.
But like if they do it like Tesla, because that's what I was immediately thinking of. Like you had to unscrew them. Like it wasn't like pop 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 pop. You know, I mean it wasn't like it was this is so hard or whatever.
Yeah.
Lucas, is there a picture of the two different sound waves side by side?
There is.
Yes, here we go.
Can you please scroll?
So they have an arrow in between them. So I don't know if that means that.
I mean, it is. That's what Ryan said as well. The chest and the leg panels on the front. I mean, so it's not really like a whole lot of difference. I think it'll be more probably notable in tape deck mode. What you see. I think it's cool
look, there's stuff on the side of the leg too. You're
right.
It's kind of, and on the shoulders there's like gobbledygook, and the head's different too.
I'm curious if they're actually going to release two versions.
I don't think so.
They've released their newer figures. They've been releasing.
I'll bet you a drink
versions.
at TFCon. In our community drinking room, where everybody already has it, though, that's probably paid for by James. So
we've already. So, never mind. Bad joke. I might.
You're right. There's more than I missed. Yeah.
I might pick this up.
One thing I like about this, if the way they're showing it looks like, if it comes with all the tapes, I think that's a cool move. You know, Takara did it, or no, Takara didn't do it. Hasbro did it.
Yeah.
Very clearly a second add-on.
Like if they could release this like in a box and it's super shiny with like all the tapes and it's like $220 or something like that, like I mean that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
I'm just hopeful for more tapes along the line because someone needs to help me complete my Masterpiece tapes. I like the ones I have. The KFC ones are not the best, but I'm okay that they exist because they exist.
I like the designs.
If someone else wanted to take another run at them, give them to me.
Like the designs.
Centuries, Kiss Players dudes, give me everything.
The design on the KFC cassettes are good, but like the early ones just don't. The quality wasn't there. You know, that's what they started.
The material
off with.
Is not good.
Yeah.
Like once they got to like eject and rewind, they're nice. But like
and the Auto Scout is incredible. I love that.
Yeah, one. So good.
So
it's a
good.
little thing. I really like the Ravage they did here for Fans Toys.
Really good.
That is way better than the Masterpiece one.
The Ravage is exceptional. If it really is a solid piece, it looks like Ravage and not a pile of bones like all the other ones.
I'm a little concerned with it because it's all rounded, which is how you do Ravage, and they like made him kind of bulge out to be soft for his legs, and it looks like it's a pin to keep it on. I can't see how that's not going to be fragile, but I would rather have it look nice and just take your time with it and be careful. But hopefully that's not something that's easily broken.
I mean, I don't know that MMC, the MMC Ravage, the bigger one, like that one piece was pretty fragile itself. So
yeah,
I mean,
mine actually broke but that's the gun on his side.
Yeah,
like part of it broke because it's that like chalky plastic, that they painted chrome or whatever, and it just. I was able to glue it back in place and just set it up there, and it's fine.
Just look at that. They got the face right, and they got all the curves right. So it like finally looks like Ravage.
Yeah.
I've just been really disappointed in everyone's Ravage since like even the Generations one that came with Hound that was pretty good. They just haven't been good enough. I think it's a really difficult design to do, and it seems like these guys finally did it right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now I'm not going to buy. If the Soundwave isn't an upgrade for my taste, I'm not going to buy that just for the Ravage. But
well, on all the pictures of the cassettes, it looks like it's FTO2B, which to me would be a different release.
You are correct.
Yeah, it's an add-on. It's an add-on set, Rob, of 4 cassettes.
You're right. Interesting. So that might be something to pick up.
Laserbeak also looks awesome. It's got all the fixins. Like he's got the head scope thing apparently inside his head and everything, and the wings go every which way you could want.
But I kind of feel like with this that if you're underwhelmed by Hasbro's cassettes, but you still like the Soundwave, just pick these cassettes up,
Yeah, since it's a
and
different
display
pack.
that, and display that with your official Soundwave. So
I think we're all assuming that they're the same size as Masterpiece cassettes. Do we know that for a fact?
No, but
I don't think they are.
Complete dummies to not do that.
I think they're going to be a little bigger. I
but
think
it
they're going
doesn't
to
matter.
whatever.
Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, it doesn't have to fit in your chest. You know what I mean? Like, you can just display it around the figure.
It does to me.
Logic.
Who puts their
Matters to
Masterpiece
me.
cassettes in the chest where you can't see them? Or maybe see one? Like, who really does that? Like, other than when you're playing with it. Like, that's how you display it?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I do.
I think it's
Like,
interesting. Oh, sorry, Ron.
I collect Soundwave, not cassettes.
So, what do y'all think about Tesla 2.0? Did any of y'all, like, I have Tesla 1.0. Did any of y'all, do y'all have any opinions? Do y'all care?
The
Anybody care
original
about
Tesla, I was not a fan of just because of the plastic. It seemed like it was like, did you develop stress marks around everything on that figure?
No, but I've only transformed it a few times. It's a simple toy, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Perceptor's not a complex design either.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like that was so early on. I guess Fans Toys just hadn't found the materials yet. They must have still been working some of that because like you can handle all the Fans Toys figures, and that one's just like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Like, I mean, it's not like Cyberverse bad. And if you want to see some Cyberverse bad, tune into Microcasters at a special time on Wednesday. But this
I never
definitely
had the major. Sorry, Rob. I just never had the major problem that anyone had with the first Tesla. It's not perfect. I liked it well enough to look like Perceptor. This one's definitely better. But the first one I didn't think was, awful or anything.
The only thing I hated about that original figure is the face was so bad. Like, it just had those, like, dead eyes. And it just... I really did not like it at all. Like, as far as the face.
I mean, I'm looking at my movie shelf with Perceptor on it right now too. Like, it still looks good. It fits the part. If they paint this one, which I'm sure they will, it'll have that Fans Toys finish that we're used to at this point, that the original one missed. So, I mean, it's tempting to sell 1.0 and pick up the 2.0 when it comes out, but I'm also worried that the engineering on 2.0 is going to be a nightmare, and I just won't want to deal with it.
That's what'll decide it for me. Perceptor's important enough to me that I would want to get a really good one, but if it's just horrifying to transform, pass.
Yeah. Which means you have to wait until it comes out, which means at that point, like Tesla 1.0 values already, I'm sure, dropping,
I sold mine a year ago. I'm good.
Well, yeah, but the Tesla...
for it or something?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I was
someone
going to
that
say,
doesn't
like, it's
know
still
what-
probably going to be more than whatever the retail value was on the original Tesla anyway. Like, even if it drops from, where it's been at.
To me, I look at more as if I could sell my 1.0 for what I'm buying the 2.0 at, to me, it's like a net even. Just like I'm out zero money and I've swapped out to one that might look a little better. Like that's like the biggest, risk for how I view it.
Is this like a completely new
Yes.
thing? They're just like forgot that they did this already and they're doing it again?
No, I mean, it says
They didn't
2.0
forget
on
to do
there.
it again.
No,
Yeah,
I know,
it says
but I guess
2.0 to make it
is it
better.
2.0 in the sense where like they're adding different panels and crap, or is it completely
No, it's
new?
whole new.
Okay.
Yep, built again from the ground up.
And it's just,
All right.
it's the second time they've done a 2.0. Although technically, I guess their Soundwave is their version 2.0 because they announced it way back in the day, and then Takara announced it, and they were just like, well, fuck this. Now it's been so long, they're like, hey, we can actually bring something new to the table. I think it's okay for them to do a Tesla 2.0 at this time. I thought the Spindrift 2.0 was a bit of a slap. Like, I mean, I didn't buy the first one because I was like, dude, that does not look like Sea Spray at all. But to do a new Sea Spray like so soon after the first one's like someone there knew that they should never have done that first one because it's just too soon, But I mean, I'm happy for everybody that can't get the Tesla because of what the value did, that they're giving another option because no one else is doing it. but I find it interesting that they're going back to figures they've already done a good bit, which kind of brings me to like the last of their reveals, which, we had Pipes, Jazz, and Mirage, all characters that have already been done by other companies. And they're doing Tesla 2.0, they're doing Spindrift 2.0. I mean,
do you think that they're going to re-release the Insecticons at some point? Because those are crazy expensive now at this point.
They've said they're not for now, but plenty of times they said they're not going to do a thing only to do it.
Right.
Are we
Did
supposed
you see
to
their last secret reveal in all the Tesla pictures?
Yeah, are we supposed to surmise what that Optimus head is?
Let me see. Let me go back to that.
Do you think they're teasing an Optimus? I thought it was just like a joke or something.
Nope, I think they're going to do an Optimus.
Whoop-deep-doo.
I know everyone else did it last year, so yeah.
Well, but I feel like at the same time, though, it's kind of like I almost feel like Fans Toys is trying to release everything.
I think at this point they are.
And so, they're just going to be like...
reputation.
Yeah.
Fans Toys never releases anything. Okay, last year they released 2 things a quarter. Great.
I mean, this year, everybody's obviously really impacted for obvious reasons, but I found it odd so much new stuff they revealed when guys, you got a hell of a backlog going here. And, and that's part of their MO. Anytime anybody announces something, they announce it. That way nobody buys their competition, because Fans Toys is pretty cutthroat. And some people call themselves Fans Toys collectors now. They're just like, I like that company. I want everything in their style done by them. And that's fine. That, people are able to do what they do, but as a company, they announce it, no one buys the competition, and then they don't put it out for years or if ever. Some people never bought any of the other 3 Trailbreakers we got because they're still waiting for Fans Toys to release it. Good luck.
But you know what? Takara teased a Trailbreaker years ago too.
No, they didn't.
There was an interview.
They never teased it.
Well, they didn't tease it, but there was one of the designers was talking about them putting a Trailbreaker out. One of the Japanese.
No,
ones.
They more teased a Huffer because that's actually a design that got released in a book.
True.
What they said was that he was just talking about the challenges of design. He's like, if we wanted to do a Trailbreaker, how do we make that also do a hoist? He wasn't saying we're working on this and it's coming out. And I think Takara probably has.
They teased Blaster because we got Night Prowler.
Yeah.
No Steel Jaw, no Blaster. That was.
I still think someday it's just gonna be like, here it is.
I think
surprise 4 years later.
I think Takara has some sort of rough design for everything. 84 to 86. Season 1 through 3. I think they got something on a shelf, or in the computer files of hey, everything I think the waters have been tested a little bit. It doesn't mean they're happening, obviously, at least not today, but as they get around to it, we had such a lull in, was it 2018 or 2019? Yeah, 2018, where we didn't get anything. I feel like they're starting to pick the pace up again. They took that time off, and now we're cranking again. It'll be interesting to see what they come out with, if they can start winning people over again. Because a lot of people, aren't happy with how they're doing.
Is this Huffer notable? Oh my God, they're finally doing Huffer. As far as Fan Toys goes.
I mean, they've been redoing all the mini bots, but because what they have, who are the other ones they've done?
Bad Q.
Brawl. Yeah, but I'm saying, what other ones?
Yeah,
here we go.
Warpath,
Beachcomber and
Sea Spray,
Brawn.
Beachcomber.
But this isn't a redo, right? This is the first time Fans Toys has done Huffer.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it looks good, though.
But they did Brawn and they did Beachcomber, obviously, because they put them
Sea Spray's the only one that's actually come out.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that Brawn hasn't come out? Because I've seen that for years.
Yes, you have. It's supposed to, I think it was actually supposed to release, by now. But coronavirus screwed it up. Beachcomber, Brawn, and Warpath are all, supposed to have been out by now or been out, within a month or two from now. But now it's all, who knows when shit's coming out. I've had them bought from Baba Bobo on eBay for a while.
Baba Booey.
And then they also showed a Jazz off as well.
Yeah, that looked
Yay.
pretty dope to me. I liked the Jazz, but I wish it had the door wings, which maybe it does, and they're hidden or something. But Jazz just always looks so good. He's such a good robot mode.
It's really like there's a round part on the back shot that I could, and you can tell that the door is under there. I don't know if it flips out though.
See, I always liked the way the Make Toys did it to where you could do either
Yeah.
way.
Well, maybe this
would really
is
have
that
to
way.
improve on Make Toys for me. Like it would have to be a stark improvement on Make Toys because that one's really good. I like it a lot.
There's my issue with the Make Toys one is like the back half of the car mode. Like the back of the car mode is just trash. It's just like blocks. The bumper doesn't go together at all. And then the side of the wheel well, there's like parts poking down from it or whatever. But it looks so good in robot mode. It's a decent toy. You know, it's not a perfect transformation, but it's not bad. You know, there's definitely worse. I don't feel the need for this Jazz at all. At all.
I mean, I think that there are people that are new to the game that can't get that Make Toys one, and so that's the thing
fair.
is now that Make Toys is like not going to re-release it, more than likely just because
Yeah. They've re-released
their
it
issues.
at least one
They-
other time.
they have.
Yeah. But yeah, they're probably dead now, unfortunately.
I mean, we don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
like
And then, of course, you know, they announced the Mirage, which I think most people are familiar with Ocular Max's Mirage, which is a great figure, but
Very good.
but it's not very cartoon accurate. I don't think it fits aesthetically with where the line is today. But Transform Element has also announced a Mirage, which looks in robot mode very similar to what Fans Toys is showing here, which mean they're both just very much cartoon accurate.
Wait. So the anime Mirage that was like shown a few months ago, this is not it.
No, that was Transform Element. Poor Paul can't keep it straight.
Fucking stupid.
yeah, come on, Paul, keep up.
No.
What we didn't see from Fans Toys, you know, still old designs that we expect to not see anymore, but also no new combiner stuff.
Yeah, they
and
did.
no more Fort Max stuff.
They did half their Superion, which I am buying. They did half their Stunticons, which I'm not buying. You know, it's just like they've
Yeah.
shown all these things, but
Finish it, please.
yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not buying either one of them.
I'm more of a Fans
finish the
Toys.
combiners.
I'm more of a Fans Toys render collector, though, so I'm actually, I'm actually pretty happy about all this because I'm really kind of knocking off my collection here.
See, you print them out and like put them in order from FT1 to 49 or whatever. Oh my god, please do that and make a video.
one thing that we haven't seen from Fans, since they're just announcing everything, I think they might have done a silhouette teaser of it a while back because, of course, they did because another company did the character, but it's Cliff Jumper, and it's because we still don't have a good Cliff Jumper. I have X Transbots up there. It's not great at all. It's to me it was better than MMC's, but I just bought it to have a Cliff Jumper for a while, and I never plan on that being there forever. I mean, I wish Takara would just do it. But Bumblebee 2.0 is by far the worst masterpiece toy they've ever made, in my opinion. So I'm not super. No, I don't want that.
We have a perfect Cliff Jumper here, Rob.
Lol.
It's true.
What you're talking about?
I mean, I'll give you this. That looks better than X Transbot's effort overall. But it has parts forming, but whatever. So I would be interested in seeing their Cliff Jumper, but their Mirage and their Jazz, I'm just snoring on. The Huffer / Pipes looks nice, but I really like Bad Cube's 2.0 versions they did of those. They're real fun toys. I don't feel I need this at all.
So no Fortress Maximus update, huh?
We probably won't hear about
that'll be
that again
forever.
for 2 years.
Right.
And what's
I mean,
that point?
that thing's gonna be freaking 3 feet tall. Like, I kind of just want the Cerebros. I think that'll be cool. I don't know if I need this 2-3 foot tall toy. I'm already gonna have one
How
of those
much
with
die
freaking
cast?
Unicron.
Like how much is that thing gonna weigh? Like that's what I want to know.
Yes, it's gonna weigh all of it.
So, Okay, so now I'm moving on to MMC here. So here's my question about their Disaurus. Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, are you getting that, or did you already get the Planet X one or whatnot instead? Like,
You know the answer to that.
well, yes. As I say, I guess you already have the Planet X one, Rob, from me. So
Yeah.
Hasbro will come through for me in the end.
You think they'll do a Desaurus in leader style?
I do.
I just feel
Saber.
like I feel like the Planet X one. I mean, I really like that one a lot, and I kind of like the way that one looks better than this. I mean, I'm sure this is probably more IDW accurate, but
I mean, the Planet X one is like the scale is odd for IDW shelf. Like if you're gonna put with your MMC toys, but style wise, it's pretty good. Like I mean, it's all the main image beats, if you want to call them that. Like they're there. It hits those beats. Like seeing the MMC one next to their one of their Tarn repaints, I didn't realize it was that short. I thought it would be a lot larger.
I swear when I saw that, because they've had this prototype on the shelf, I swear it seemed like it was bigger when I saw it in person.
That's what they all say.
Oh.
I didn't realize this hadn't come out. I guess I confused it with the couple Planet X versions, but yeah, when I saw this as best part of the presentation, I was like, wait, this already came out. Someone has this. Nope, they don't.
No.
Planet X beat it in the market.
Like they're supposed to have different parts so you can make it IDW or G1, and I feel it misses both, and so I'm passing on it.
Yeah.
I should say Keith. I don't know. I think it was originally supposed to be KFC. I don't know which brand he's going to do it now, but he's been wanting to do Desaurus for years. Like he's mentioned it at a panel years ago that like it's on the way. Like not tomorrow, obviously, but like he's going to do it. And so I think that'll probably be my G1 shelf version whenever that happens.
Look at those clown feet.
Are you talking about Chrome Dome?
Yeah.
Oh, this Chrome Dome looks
great, though.
Fantastic. And they finally showed
can't
off
wait.
the little rewind here as well.
They're not doing rewind. They told us in person. They're not
Right.
doing rewind. I don't think they have it in the images here, but the way we knew that they were lying to us is last year is they actually made a part that is them holding hands together. So you can plug them in and have them holding hands, which is
awesome.
Yeah, the rewind looks great.
Rodimus, I don't know what you're talking about. This Chrome Dome looks fantastic. I mean, if you don't like the IDW version of Chrome Dome, then that's fine. But
If you do, it's
I don't love it.
It's perfect.
it looks accurate to IDW, though.
Yeah.
Yep. This would be instant buy.
I think it's ugly,
Even with
but I also
MMC's
love it.
crazy price scale now.
Well, so this is going to be a 2-pack with Rewind and Chrome Dome together. So it'll probably be like
I'm sure it's $250 now.
No, it'll be $120.
$120 was 2 of the small figures for a nickel on the pet. So this is easily going to be more than that.
Yeah, maybe.
Anna says
I'll
that
still buy it, but jeez.
Anna says that Rewind looks odd to her, and I would kind of agree. I feel like his shoulder pylons are too long or too wide. I feel like they should be snug up a bit, but I don't have like maybe with paint on it.
I feel like I
won't
need to
look.
grab the comic and see if it's like that. I can't remember.
And Rob, I agree with you. I think paint will make it look better, kind of blend it all together.
I'm Google image searching it right now.
Wow.
All the images have him cut off at the edges. Okay, no, they're huge.
Yeah, they're longer than we think.
They are just huge. That's what they do. Well, in some images it's not as bad, but in some of them they're even larger. So
Yeah, so they pretty much are animation accurate. So if that's what you want, if you want an animation accurate Chrome Dome and Rewind, this is what this is it right here.
Animation accurate? I don't remember them animated.
Well, the comic.
Chrome Dome's feet, actually, I think, are too big. Like they're supposed to be a little smaller and narrower. But I assume
he looks like Bozo the Clown.
I suspect though that they had to be that way to make it, go where it needs to go for car mode.
Right.
Yes.
So you
These are
can't make
these
that
are
shit up.
still
Sacrifices.
these are physical objects that have to transform. So.
Damn you, physics!
And they have to stand on a shelf too. So if you made
true.
tiny little feet, like
Look at that. He's got tiny little heels, but giant ass clown toes. It's just weird. It's like his his Unicron pancake flapjacks.
It kind of reminds me of the Bruce Timm designs from Batman the Animated Series. Like they all have these like big wide chests, but then like they have these like tiny little ankles with these tiny little feet. And so when DC Collectibles did that line, like all those figures have trouble standing on their own because they match the animation. The animation was never really made to be physical form, But this set looks great. I'm super happy to buy it. I hope they don't pack it with some really stupid repaint that no one wants and force you to buy both in some way, like they did with their Brawn and
the Brawn, yeah.
Guzzle.
Yeah, Guzzle, and like that's the one you wanted. No one wanted Brawn. It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they've tried a couple different things. Like I know that the Ravage that they just released, like they released him on his own with some upgrade parts, and then he ended up being $80 on his own.
Yeah.
Which he's not really an $80 toy. It's more like a $60 toy, but because they didn't package it with something else, like it's $80.
It's like so much of these toys, like it's like, whose line is it anyways? The prices are made up and the cost doesn't matter. That's what a lot of this stuff is. It's what can you sell it at that the market can bear, and that's what you price it as. The cost from the factory itself is, much less than what you pay. But you got to pay your people, you got to pay for shipping, you got to you got to cover spoilage. Some stuff's gonna get lost. You got to do returns and parts and all this. So prices are made up. It's just how it is. And
So you
ultimately,
end up with me not getting Nickel and the Pet for a year and a half because it's just too expensive.
since I wanted both of those characters, I was happy to pay it. I was just so happy to have them.
I want them both too, and they're too expensive for me.
How
much
I
are
don't
they?
think they're worth that. It's $120 for the 2-pack.
For smaller figures.
They're about $40 figures.
Yeah.
I think to me.
I look at it as, again, boutique lines, collector niche.
I get it.
I wanted nickel, and that's the only way to get it. I'll pay the price for it. But I don't begrudge anyone for passing on it.
And that's me for this Chrome Dome. So there you go.
What, you're not buying it?
No, I will buy it.
Oh, got it. No matter the cost,
No
within
matter.
reason. $600 for a deluxe figure.
So,
So
yeah,
much
no, I
for
have
Chrome.
not been collecting as many reformat as I had in the past, but I'm definitely down for Chrome Dome and Rewind.
What's next, Lucas? Because there's one that I'm waiting on, and I know we're kind of coming up to our time.
Which one are you talking about?
It would have to be Banana, Force.
Force.
Oh,
Heck
Get because
yeah.
nobody cares about them.
Banana party.
I'm sorry. Here, hold on. Let me go back through because I skipped over that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, Gang Toys made a Predaking. Nobody cares.
No one.
Oh. On to Banana Force.
Seriously. Predaking in 2020?
And that style is so what? I just
Nope.
good luck,
The
guys.
6-member thing is interesting, but yeah.
No. Real bad.
You are
Should I
bad
go
and you
for it
should
now,
feel
Lucas?
bad.
Can't talk about it now.
Talk about
Yes.
it.
Hold on.
Which one are you
I'm
looking at?
getting there. Are you talking about?
See, they
Black
get,
Fire Convoy.
Oops.
is that from
Black Fire
something,
Convoy.
or are they
It's
just
the
doing
lucky
it?
draw. It's the
Yeah,
most
it's the lucky-
legendary lucky draw there is.
Oh, that's not true, but it is a lucky draw.
It is true. Okay, it's the prettiest lucky draw there is. Yeah, so Black Fire Convoy is existing since I will probably never own a real lucky draw one, and no one else will do this color scheme. I really had high hopes when the Encore set came out that we would get a not quite lucky draw, like with the Unicron of Light and with Big Blue Convoy, but no. So this will be my Black Fire Convoy, and it's going to be awesome. The end by Christian.
And the Banana Force stuff is just they're like action figures, right? Like they don't
Yeah,
transform.
they're like high detail diecast. figures. They don't transform.
Well, I mean, have any of them come out yet?
The regular Optimus did.
So people have it in hand and stuff.
Yeah.
This seems to me like a lower cost, lower quality of the Flame Toys super articulated action figures.
Yeah, similar
close?
vein. Yeah.
What's the price on it? Or like on the Optimus one that came out? Yeah.
I don't remember.
I want to say I saw them for around 100, give or take $20, either way. But
I mean, it seems like that's a decent price. You know, somewhere
It would
around
be
that.
cheaper than getting a real Blackfire convoy.
Chosen Prime has that Prime at $245.
I was way off.
That's
Now
way
Show
off.
Z has it for $160.
I would pay 160 maybe. I probably wouldn't pay 250.
That is such different prices.
Okay, thank you. I want to talk about Beast Wars. And I
it's
also wanted to talk about
Sorry, I was just going to say it's because China doesn't cost anything to ship. They ship to the U.S. for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I also wanted to briefly talk about that Legends Scorponok. I don't know who it's making. Is it New Age?
It's a Transform Element. They did a Black
Transform
Arachnia,
Element.
and now they're doing
yeah.
Scorponok. He looks so good.
He looks very good. You guys know I hate Legends. All the listeners know, I hate Legends. They're too small. I got big, meaty hands, and they don't work well with Legends figures. But these look so good, and I'm at the age where you guys were for G1 for Beast Wars for me. That didn't make sense. Any sense of the sentence. Blech. You know what I'm saying, though.
Not in the slightest. But continue on.
I got
The
it.
distance between my age and Beast Wars was the same as when you guys were my age and between G1. Yes? Closer? Closer to an idea. Anyway, so I'm feeling the need to get Beast Wars stuff, but Beast Wars toys are not what I want. And Beast Wars Masterpiece is out of control on price, so this may be it for me, unless Hasbro indicates that they're going to make a real Beast Wars classic series.
The rumor has been that, the new Earthrise stuff has like the planet maps or what in it. That there's going to be an animal planet, and then there will be like Beast Wars homages on it.
I've been pushing that rumor out for a while because I heard it from a good source, and I keep putting it out into the ether in the hopes that it will happen. And give me another year, and War for Cybertron 3 comes and goes, and if there's Beast, great. If there's not, maybe Christian comes back and gets Transform Element Legends Beast Wars.
I get the feeling what we're going to end up with is the same way they did some Unicron trilogy homages, where it's like, here's a figure, and there's a figure. They're both in generation selects, and that's it. I don't think they're ever going to go, head first into homaging an existing line that isn't G1. I think it's all just going to be like little bits here and there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Beast Wars 25 is coming up next year, right? Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, well, I guess I'll see why they wouldn't is because of the current designers on the line. But, we've seen that Beast Wars is successful with Masterpiece, so why wouldn't it be successful if they, released a mainline as well?
Or even just a side-by-side line, I don't need War for Cybertron 3 to be Beast Wars, but if it has a bunch of Beast Wars in it, great. Please. By all means.
I don't know. I mean, they teased it in Generations, for a little while there. We got some really great figures, except for Cheetor. Cheetor is crap.
He's way back in Universe. We're talking about Waspinator, Rat Trap, and Rhinox. Those three are awesome.
They're so excellent. Those are... there's a lot of that engineering that could be used for a Masterpiece style figure. Not lifted wholesale, but there's so much of it that's right. I actually have those three on my Masterpiece shelf, holding down those spots until, an official Masterpiece comes along. I have no room for Legends, even though the Scorponok looks great, and I think Scorponok is way down the list for Takara to ever get around to. Him and Pterosaur were killed off in season 1, and unceremoniously at that, no one really even acknowledged it that they died. They just tossed them in lava and got rid of them. The end. Oh, sorry, spoiler.
They were transmetalizing. They could come back. They could still come back. 25 years later, they could come back.
That Transmetal Pterosaur is also such an excellent toy. I love the design on that toy, just as an aside.
And Transmetal Scorponok came with Happy Meal food.
I was about to say, we didn't get one, but you're right. I forgot that thing exists. I mean, I have it on my shelf, but...
Yeah, it happened with toy. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, do we miss anybody else from the panel, or is that pretty much everything?
I think that's pretty much everything.
Gigapower has a thing that they're recoloring and replacing.
That looked nice.
Yeah.
Cool for those interested in it.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw too that I guess Hasbro said that they're going to be up and running here pretty quick again, as far as like the factories in China. The CEO.
Yeah, but
CEOs say a lot of things that they wish were true that aren't true. Let me know when it's happening.
Right. I'm just saying that.
Boosted their stock.
Yeah. I think
that's why he said it. To try to ease fears. Like, guys, everything's about to go back to normal. Don't worry about it. Which will hold off some fears and stretch things out a little longer. I'm not saying it's a bad move, but he's no reason to trust what he says.
Yeah,
he's not in charge of the factories in China.
Exactly.
TFCon's supposed to ship today.
Which ones? The Hasbro ones?
The Hasbro ones.
Oh, those are way delayed. The Japanese ones haven't come out, bro.
Thought they did.
No, they're coming out this week. They were supposed to come out this past week, but they were delayed a week. Don't you listen to TF Talk News?
No, I haven't listened to it yet. Sorry. I had other podcasts in line. Really? I feel like people have had the Japanese ones, at least Snaptrap and Scalar, for a couple weeks now.
Well, yeah, those are the first two.
Yeah, the Hasbro first two are supposed to come out today.
Oh, I'm talking about the last two.
Yeah.
So we're like flippy dippy here.
Some of us haven't gotten their first
Snapchat
ones.
And Scalar were supposed to ship today from Pulse.
I'm sorry you guys did it wrong, but if you did it right, you'd be done by Friday.
All right, so I should expect a shipment going out on Friday?
You should expect a shipment coming to me on Friday.
Okay.
Not to you.
Okay. Well, then I can't be done on Friday, even though I did it right according to Mr. Starscreen.
Yeah, but these other two talking heads here are going to be waiting another 3 months.
That's okay.
They're supposed to be done May 23rd. That's the last. May 4th, 5th. I've got the list on my phone, but you're presently on my phone, so I can't see it.
Is that the first one?
Whatever the dates were, they're wrong.
It's March 23rd, April 6th, and May 10th or 6th or something.
But probably not.
All wrong.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll get out here. In a year from now, you'll have them on your shelf. Whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about it. By the time you get them, we'll have the Beast Wars Neo versions.
Ooh, can't wait for those.
Do you think it's going to happen? I mean, they had to do selects just to even get this one. I think they're done.
No, I think they'll do a box set for them.
Yeah, it might be like a
San
Tony
Diego
Mall
Comic
exclusive or
They'll
something.
crowdfund it like they did.
All right, guys.
Max.
I gotta tell you my exclusive news. They're for HasCon 2020.
Yeah, there you go.
I would not expect a Hasbro special exclusive edition of those by any means.
Yeah.
If it happens, everybody can be wonderfully surprised, and Paul will be the happiest to admit he was wrong.
Yeah. I always make predictions that, if I'm wrong, everyone wins. But
yeah,
I'm a fucking realist.
Yeah, so as Rob mentioned earlier in the show, we're actually going to have the Microcasters is going to be on Wednesday this week instead of Tuesday. So we're going to be doing some Cyberverse figures. So we're going to have a special guest on Paul's going to join us. So
it's me. It's me.
But yeah, so I guess Hot Rod and Optimus. So I have to check that out and see what you guys think about those figures.
I thought it was going to be Grimlock.
don't know.
Whatever it is.
Y'all need to tell me so I can make this damn image. Because I made the image based off what I was told, and it was like, oh, they're gonna change one. I'm like, yeah, fuck y'all. I'm not gonna make any image until the show is done, and then I'll make
whatever Anna says is the law.
Anna says one is orange, which none of them are orange. So
it should be Hot Rod and Grimlock because that's what I made the image for.
Okay, good. That's what it'll be. Plus, maybe an Optimus.
It's Cyberverse. It's all crap. You just throw them in together. It'll make no difference.
So no Ash My Wallet this week, and we're gonna take over that time slot with microcasters, and then I guess is Ouch gonna be back next week, Rob?
Barring unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, I say everything's fluid, so I know cut
just
the tape.
Dudes.
I was gonna say I think cut the tape is gonna take a hiatus for a couple weeks here. As well, so
Cool.
Yeah, Paul, I see it. I love it.
Spoilers.
Is that a teaser for Ouch My Wallet next week?
These are just my alien antenna.
You're gonna get us flagged, man. Can't have that type of content on YouTube.
So this panel was pretty cool. It's awesome that Ryan did it and that TFCon still gave us, something that everyone was excited for. Like when you pay for TFCon, like you're not really paying for this. This is sort of like an add-on. If you go, you go. So I think it's really cool that they just like went through the motions to put it out anyways. I mean, the companies definitely want their stuff seen, right? So
yeah,
I thought it was awesome.
And kind of like as has been the norm lately, there's no Make Toys presence. Nothing from Keith. He hasn't put anything in this panel for years now because of Fans Toys. Whenever he does it, Fans Toys drops a freaking silhouette of it, So he's quit putting anything in it. No change here.
Why don't we get Keith on this show, man? You always talk about this guy. Like, get him in.
I would love to sit down and talk to Keith because that's probably my favorite company in the third party world.
Snap your fingers, dog.
I guess we do know Ryan, but I don't know if he's interested in coming, and I don't know how his English is either.
Yeah, probably not.
It's enough for typing. You can get the point across, but that's a big difference between speaking it. So,
well, his name's Keith, right? Or is that?
I doubt it. I mean,
phonetic?
I had an Indian friend in high school, and his name was Hiran, but his American name was Henry. His brother went by Bobby, but his name was actually Bavik. Okay. His dad went by George. His name was like 25 characters. I could not pronounce it.
So that okay. There's like a dude in college, not the one I went to, but they just called him the guy because you look at his ID and it was like a 35-letter thing because he was from Greece. I don't know. I never knew what his name was. He loved it. He's the guy. He's like, hey, the guy. He's like, what up? And he was like,
the
really cool
in front of your name. Please call me the Rob.
The Rob. Mr. Rob Scream.
So. But yeah, no, I think it's still cool that even though there's no more Make Toys, at least someone's taken that, kind of that size crown. The Lemon Toys is making something, so that's kind of exciting to see too. So, but
yeah, we'll see. I hope their first release comes soon, and we get to see what kind of company they are.
All right. Well, do you guys have any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I'm glad that happened. Thanks to again to Ryan for at least. I know he'd already done a lot of work to put the slides together, so it's cool. At least we got the news out there.
Yep.
We got a little taste of TFCon this weekend, even if it didn't get the show itself. And I look forward to hopefully the world being back into some sort of order come the fall, and of seeing all you guys in Chicago, or at least a lot of you.
Yeah, that was the thing that it was. I was at least happy that there was some other kind of news, like something I could look forward to,
right?
This weekend, and like it's at least something kind of happy that we can kind of talk about. So
I was a little late on it because I've been killing some mad demons in Doom Eternal,
there you go.
Which is a lot of fun if you're into that.
I've been killing some mad fish in Animal Crossing.
My wife's been playing a lot of that. Our house is divided.
Dude,
it's been Pokemon Go this weekend because they had an event.
Stay inside.
I did stay inside.
Pokemon, go to the polls.
Yeah, we've been fighting over that Switch with Animal Crossing, though, let me tell you. So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining in the chat. Antoine, who else? Rodimus, we got
Neuro, Zaldron.
Rodimus, Zaldron. So, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Ron.
Anna, of course. But yeah, thank you to everyone that participated in the chat, and I guess we'll see you on Wednesday. So,
On Facebook.
Facebook for Microcast.
Our plugs.
So, oh yeah, if you like what we do, consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/TFYLP. So tiers from $1 on up. So essentially, it's our way to pay for all the server costs and all that kind of thing. So.
And we have a Discord now as well. It's in the description of the episode if you want to join in and live chat with us and, the rest of the community.
Yep. I'm there. Rob's there. Paul's not there.
Paul's there.
Paul's been there.
Paul's not there. I don't think... Paul, I've never seen you in the Discord.
I don't know how to use it.
Yeah, see?
Oh,
But you can talk to Mr. Starscream,
Yeah,
who's way
Mr.
better
Starscream's
anyways.
there.
Mr.
but,
Starscream is there. You can talk to him.
Well, I guess I need to get back on it because I've kind of been snoozing myself. I don't think I've been on in several days. So
Don't be
We
snooping.
talked about Armada today. Great.
Yeah,
at
Anna's
you.
there all the time. Yeah, you can put it on your phone. You can put it on your PC. It's everywhere.
all right. Well, thanks everyone.